Good evening, everyone. Today, our topic is consumer equilibrium. This is the next topic of economics. Consumer equilibrium. So, when it comes to consumer equilibrium, we can say what is consumer equilibrium? Simple. First, we will bifurcate it. The first one is what is equilibrium? We can say this is a state of rest condition. The state of rest condition where we don't want to change our consumption pattern. And who is a consumer? A consumer is one who consume to maximize his or her satisfaction, or we can say that the main objective of a consumer is to maximization of satisfaction. So when we combine these two things, we can say that what is consumer equilibrium? It is a state of rest condition where a consumer wants to maximize his or her satisfaction, or where the consumer is maximum satisfied. So this is a state of rest condition where consumer gets maximum satisfaction. It is known as consumer equilibrium. Now, the first topic in consumer equilibrium is utility. What is that? Utility. What is utility? When it comes to utility, we can say that this is the power of a commodity to satisfy a want. Power of a commodity to satisfy a want, or want satisfying power of a commodity is called as utility. Ultimately, we can say that utility is also termed as satisfaction. It is related to satisfaction. Now, there are three components of utility. How many components of utility are there? So, there are three components of utility. Number one is total utility. Number two, average utility. And number three, marginal utility. How many types of components of utility? Average, total utility, average utility, and marginal utility. So what is total utility? We can say these are the total satisfaction derived from consumption of a commodity. When we obtain total satisfaction from that particular commodity, that is known as total utility. So we can write total satisfaction obtained from consumption of a commodity. So the formula that we can write here is this is sigma x I equals to 1 to n. That means what is x? X is your consumed unit. X is your consumed unit. And what is I? That means as we consume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the commodities we are consuming in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the total satisfaction that we are obtaining is called as total utility. Now, coming to average utility, we can say that average utility is equals to total utility upon Q. What is Q? Q equals to number of units. This is called as average utility. We may derive it the proportionate of total utility with respect to units. This is average utility proportionate of total utility with respect to its unit. That is known as average utility. Now, when it comes to marginal utility, we can say that it is change in total utility due to an additional unit of output. When there is change in total utility due to an additional unit, due to an addition of a unit, when there is change in total utility, that is known as marginal utility. we can derive the formula like that. So mu equals to tun minus tun minus 1 or delta tu upon delta q or dy dx of total utility tu. ठीक है, dy dx means differentiation of tu. So these are the three components of utility. One is tu, au and mu. Okay, so this is our first concept of consumer equilibrium utility. Now our second concept is law of diminishing marginal utility. Now our next topic is law of diminishing marginal utility. This law is given by Professor Alfred Marshall under deductive method of economics. Under deductive method of economics. What does this law state? It states that, sir, as we consume more and more of a commodity, the level of satisfaction derived from each unit consumed will fall. Or we can say, as we consume more and more of a commodity, marginal utility derived from each unit consumed will fall. We can say, so who propounded this law? Professor Alfred Marshall. Under which method of economics? Deductive method. And what is the definition or what is the statement of this law? Ki, sir, as we consume more and more of a commodity, the level of satisfaction derived from each unit consumed will fall. Right? इसका मतलब क्या होता है? आज मैं थोड़ा सा हिंदी टर्म यूज करूंगा. इसका मतलब है कि जैसे जैसे हम किसी कमोडिटी की कंजम्पशन करते हैं, जो उससे हमें सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है वो हर एक यूनिट कंजम्पशन के साथ फॉल करता जाता है. अगर हम एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल ले लें कि सपोज यू आर हंग्री, ठीक है, तो एज यू कंज्यूम मोर एंड मोर ऑफ अ चपाती, यहाँ पे कमोडिटी के हर जगह पे आप चपाती रख लीजिए, एज यू कंज्यूम मोर एंड मोर ऑफ अ चपाती, तो जैसे जैसे आपका पेट भरता जाएगा वैसे वैसे आपका सेटिस्फैक्शन कम होता जाएगा. पहली रोटी जब आप बहुत भूखे होंगे तो पहली चपाती आपको बहुत ज्यादा सेटिस्फैक्शन देगा, सेकंड उससे थोड़ा कम, फिर उससे थोड़ा कम, और जब पेट भर जाएगा तो लास्ट में आप कहेंगे कि अब नहीं चाहिए, आई डोंट वांट इट. ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी, कि एज वी कंज्यूम the satisfaction goes down. Now we are going to explain it through with the help of a example, and we will use all the three components with the relationship between the three components of utility. And what are the three components? TU, AU and MU. Total utility, average utility and marginal utility. Now suppose we are going to take an example now, TU, AU and MU, and we will study about the relationship between these three as well. Suppose we are taking it as unit. There are number of unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And we are assuming TU as, suppose when we are consuming first item, first unit of a commodity, we are getting 10 utils. Okay? When we consume second, our level of satisfaction falls 18. Total utility increases. Level of satisfaction falls means our total utility is increasing, but change in utility is falling. For example, if you are talking about कि सर हमारा total utility घट कैसे रहा है, कैसे हम बताएंगे? तो देखिए, हमारा total utility तो बढ़ रहा है 10 से 18, बट जो change है वो कितने का है? 8. अगर बढ़ता तो 10 का कितना होता? 21, 22. So it is increasing at a diminishing rate. Now, तीसरी रोटी खाए और हमारा satisfaction fall कर गया, that is चौथी खाए और fall कर गया, ठीक, though TU is increasing but change in satisfaction is decreasing. Then again, so this is our TU. Suppose we are given with a TU. T sir, 1 unit, 10 utils, 18, 24, 28, 28 and 24. How we are assuming it? Ki sir, as we consume, law of diminishing marginal utility states ki as we consume more and more of a commodity, the level of satisfaction tends to fall. Now, how we are going to find out? Find AU and next one is MU from the given data. First unit 10. What is the formula for AU? Sir, TU upon Q. 10 upon 1, 10. 18 upon 2, 9. 24 upon 3, 8. 7. 5.6 and 4. Same with the marginal utility. 1 is above 1, there will be 0. 10 minus 0, 10. 18 minus 10, 8. 24 minus 18, 6. Then 4. Then 0 and then minus 4. This minus represent that you are not going to accept any next commodity or any next unit. That means you are अब मना कर रहे हैं कि अब हमको खाना नहीं है. So this is now just see here when sir TU is increasing, no doubt till here it is increasing but the rate is diminishing. Why? Because it is not increasing by 100% or more than 100%, less than 100%. So see what happens to average utility. It is rising or falling? Falling. What happens to marginal utility? Rising or falling? Falling. What is marginal utility? Change in satisfaction. Change in total utility. That means instead of increasing, it is falling continuously. This is what this law states. As we consume the next unit, our level of satisfaction falls. What falls? Marginal utility derived from each unit consumed will fall. Now, if we will draw it, or we try to explain it with the help of a diagram. So, units are given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what? This is a hypothetical data. Okay? And utility is given as 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 and 32. When we place it at the place of 1, there will be 0, it will be 0, 1, suppose 10 will be here, 2, we are placing TU right now, total utility, 2, 18, suppose it will be here, 3, 24 here, 4, 28 maximum, 5 again 28, that is maximum, and 6 falls to 24. Now when we join it, we will get a curve like this. This is total utility. Now from the same point, if we draw AU, what is AU? 10, 9, 8, 7, 5.6 and 4. 10 or at point 1, 10, then second, here it will be 9. 10, 9 over here. So it will occur like this will come. Now, from the same point, when we place MU, what will happen? It also starts from 10 point only, and where TU is maximum, MU becomes 0. This is MU. Just see 10, 9, 8, 7, 10, 8, 6, 4, 0 and minus 4. MU is always less than TU. Just see 10, 10. From the very first point they are common. But the second point 9 and this will be 8. 8, 6, 7, 4. That means MU will always be always be less than AU. Yeah. Now the total satisfaction obtained, maximum satisfaction obtained is unit 5. At unit 5. At this point, TU is 28, that is maximum, and MU is 0. So we can say that this is maximum satisfaction point, maximum satisfaction point, and when TU is maximum, MU is 0. It is also called as point of satiety. Point of satiety. So this is diagrammatic representation of the three components and law of diminishing marginal utility. This whole concept is part of law of diminishing marginal utility. When someone asks you what is law of diminishing marginal utility, after the statement you have to draw this schedule as per your numeric numbers as well. You can opt for that also. And with this diagram, here we are representing TU, AU and MU. We are taking TU, AU, MU on the y-axis and number of units on x-axis. So these are the concept of law of diminishing marginal utility. Any problem? Now we are going to describe about the relationship between these three. I am going to rub this because there is no more space. So this is the whole concept of law of diminishing marginal utility, and these are the hypothetication unit, and we are placing it here only so we are able to explain the relationship between TU, AU and MU through a graph or this law of diminishing marginal utility. Now there is a question, sir, where this TU comes from, AU comes from, MU comes from, why the curve is like this? I am doing nothing, only one thing, we are plotting this. We are plotting this as AU and we are plotting this numeric data as MU. When we will plot this, we will get a curve like this. In the first instance, I show you, I have plotted all the numeric data in TU format, AU format and in MU format as well. Now, we are going to deal with the relationship between these three. What are the relationships? Relationship between TU, AU and MU. What is the relationship between these three? Now suppose in the first stage, here when we see when TU is increasing, AU and MU also tends to increase. When TU increases, AU also increases and MU also increases. In the second stage, when TU becomes maximum, AU tends to, just see here, AU in this whole stage, what happens to AU? It tends to fall. AU tends to fall. And what happens to MU? Sir, its second stage, MU becomes 0. When TU is maximum, MU will be 0. Now, third stage, when TU tends to fall. When TU tends to fall, what happens to AU? Sir, it continues to fall but never touches x-axis or but never be 0. Continues to fall but always be greater than 0. That means it will never touch x-axis because mathematically an average can never be negative, we can say. Now, and what happens to MU? It becomes negative. Just see here, as TU falls, MU becomes negative. So this is the relationship between TU, AU and MU. Okay, yeah. So this is our first concept of consumer equilibrium, which consists of utility, components of utility, law of diminishing marginal utility, hypotheticated schedule, diagram of TU, AU and MU, and the relationship between these three. Okay, so this is the first concept of consumer equilibrium, which is a very important concept.